Today, it is Tuesday, March the 15th. We're reading Numbers 30 through 33, Psalm 35, and Luke chapter 3 today. I want to draw your attention in the journey of the Old Testament here as the people of God are traveling all through the wilderness. They're on the way to the promised land. They're going to come back. They've been there once. They walked away. They're going to come back. At the end of Numbers chapter 33, I don't know what book of the Bible I'm in. In Numbers 33, the very last paragraph of that chapter, I want to read it to you, and then I want to explain to you why this one paragraph matters so much in our lives today. In Numbers 33, starting in verse number 35, says, "But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land." See, God's talking about the promised land, Canaan, the place he's brought them to. He says, when you come into the promised land, if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land, those you allow to remain will become barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides. They will give you trouble in the land where you will live, and then I will do to you what I plan to do to them. Now you might hear that and think, what's that matter? I'm not a part of the people that were standing in the wilderness at this exact moment. I'm not a part of the people that walked into the promised land at that exact moment. I'm not somebody that dealt with those people back at that exact moment. Why does it matter? And it matters because as we continue to read through the Old Testament, we begin to see that all of the people groups, all of the peoples that God told his nation to drive out, all of those people became barbs and thorns later in the future. God told them to drive all of these people out, to take the land for themselves so that they would have total control, 100% control of the land. You drive them out and make it whole, or make it holy, separated from everything else. You drive them out and you take it. If you don't, there'll be consequences in the future. And what we find is that they didn't do it. They didn't drive them all out. They drove a lot out, some out, most out, but not all. They left some in. And the ones that remained became barbs and thorns in their sides to this day. It still continues. This matters today because God's plan for you and God's plan for me is that we will be a holy people. We'll be a people without sin, without blemish, without problem, without fault, without flaw. We'll be holy like he is. And to obtain a state of holiness, it requires us to reject fully every sinful thing in our life. We repent of every sinful action. We reject every sinful behavior. We turn away from every unhealthy, sinful influence in our life. We push them all away so that we can live the way God has wanted us to live since the day he created us in the first place. The problem is, you and I have not done that well. We've just flat not done it well. Now, we've driven out a lot of our sinful behaviors. I've driven out a lot of my sin, some of my sin. I've rejected many of my sinful behaviors. I've turned away from many unhealthy, sinful influences, but there's still those one or two people that are really funny, and they really make me laugh, and I enjoy being around them, so I've let them kind of linger in my life. Those one or two influences. There's that one or two behaviors that really kind of feel good, that I've let kind of hang on in my life, just every once in a while, not very often. I mean, I don't sin every day, but every once in a while, that's kind of fun. You've done the same thing. There's those one or two thoughts that you know you need to stop thinking about that thing in that way, but every once in a while, you just are frustrated and you want to. So we let them hang on. And God has told us we need to reject all of it. Drive it all out. When we follow Jesus, it is all or nothing. It's all or nothing. You can't follow Jesus part way. You can't follow Jesus fully while allowing sin and sinful influences and behaviors and thoughts and actions to remain in your life, even a little bit. You surrender everything at the cross, everything at the foot of Jesus. You give everything to him to carry away, to wash away, and to forgive. I want to encourage you today, whatever is in your life that is sinful, that is not good and is not holy, but it is a sin, whatever influence, whatever relationship, whatever friendship, whatever romantic thing, whatever it is in your life that is a sinful influence, and you know what those are, God has called you to drive them out. When you gave your life to Jesus, you gave him everything you have. And he called you to drive the sin out of the land. So today, let's do that. Don't let it linger. Every time we let sin hang on, it will always become a barb, a thorn. It will always become an attack back on us again. Drive it out today. Repent of it, surrender it, and give it to Jesus. So today, you can be holy as your God is holy. Until I see you again, you are sent.